Now we're going to talk about practical installation guidelines. You need to have 3 foot in all directions. Here's where you need to clean the furnace. You especially need some room on this side. Some furnaces you clean them in other directions. You need to leave room in front of your furnace, especially above the furnace here for heat protection, for fire protection. On the side of the furnace, on your stack where your stack goes through the ceiling, you need to have 4 inches. The insulation needs to be cut back 4 inches at least. And be sure you use triple wall insulation where you go through your flammables. Don't run single wall insulation, a single wall stack through the ceiling. When you go through the ceiling, be sure you use triple wall and keep the insulation back. Use the insulation shield inside of the attic up there to keep the insulation back. You need to be 8 foot off of the floor. As far as your electrical power wire coming to the furnace, be sure you use a heavy enough power wire that doesn't get hot. Normally they use 12 gauge, but be sure you refer to the amp rating on the furnace, so you use a heavy enough wire. Especially watch it on ductable models. Ductable models pull more current. They will need a heavier wire. Another thing, don't put your furnace in a driveway. There have been people who mounted the furnace in the center of the shop. They back a semi through the shop and the whole furnace comes crashing down off the ceiling right when it's running. Kerbam, everything comes down. Don't laugh, it has happened. It's not a pretty thing. Be sure you mount your furnace off on the side, maybe on a part shelf, or maybe on mount it off the ceiling if it's good and strong. Mount it up there securely. The meter pump here, be sure you have a suction, a leak-proof suction line. We don't like pipe unions in there. They tend to suck air, and it's very important with a meter pump that it does not suck air. A note on your pressure line here, when your pressure line goes from the output side of the meter pump here up to the furnace, don't go up against the up against the ceiling and then over and back down to your furnace, because the air bubble will not bleed downhill. Be sure you use a big enough line to run the distance so you don't have a lot of line friction. Next, we want to talk about cleaning and periodic maintenance. Every 500 hours of operation, or at least at the end of the season, you're going to need to clean the furnace out. Every furnace creates ash. Inside of the furnace, you're going to have an ash. Looks something like this here. Baby powder or lime. It's not like black ash. It's very clean stuff. If your furnace is working properly, if you have it set properly, on the air band and the air regulator, the unit will run nice and clean, and you'll get a white to tan ash in most oils, depending on what kind of oil you burn. We're going to take the burner off here to show you how to clean the waste oil furnace.